Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to our channel of Asian Exporters Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I hope things are going well with your businesses and you are doing a great job handling the ever evolving challenges in international trade. So, up to this point, we have successfully conducted 9 sessions where we have covered the topics in depth, all related to export and import. So I have provided you the significance of trade and finance topics before, and it is my privilege to kickstart this online session on a topic of immense significance in the world of global trade, that is international payment methods and letter of credits, LCs. So in today's interconnected global economy, where business knows no boundaries, and understanding the variations of international payments and the strategic use of letter of credit is paramount. So these financial instruments serve as the backbone of international transactions, facilitating seamless trade between nations and ensuring trust and reliability in our dealings. So throughout this session, we will delve deep into the intricacies of international payment methods, exploring the various options available to businesses engaged in cross-border trade. So we'll navigate through concepts of open account payments, advance payments, documentary collections, and the ever evolving reliable letter of credits. Our aim is not just to scratch the surface, but to equip you with an in depth understanding of how each payment works, their advantages, and their potential pitfalls. We will discuss real world scenarios, case studies, and the practical tips to help you make informed decisions in your international transactions. So, by the end of this session, you will be better equipped to navigate the complex landscape of international payments and letter of credits, making your global trade endeavors more secure and successful. So, without further ado, let's dive into the world of international trade finance, arm ourselves with knowledge, and set the course of prosperous and secure international transactions. So, my name is Tahiri Mullah, and your host for today's session. I have the privilege of serving as the executive director here at AECCI, and I'm delighted to be your guide on the insightful journey. Together, we will explore the intricacies of international payment methods and letter of credits, aiming to enhance your understanding of how these financial tools can empower your global trade ventures. So, throughout my tenure at AECCI, I have had the honor of working closely with our esteemed members and witnessing the incredible strides they have made in the realm of international trade. So, it is the experience and our collective commitment to fostering successful cross border trade transactions that drive me to facilitate this session. So before we start, let's remember that ACCI is here to support you and we are your resource for knowledge, help, and making your business better. So let's start by introducing Asian Exporters Chamber of Commerce and Industry and providing an overview of the presentation our team has prepared for this session. Okay, method of international payment, NLCs. I'm here representative of ACCI, an organization deeply committed to facilitating smoother international trade for Asian businesses. Our primary objective is to empower exporters by equipping them with essential resources, fostering valuable networking opportunities, and delivering customized support to give them a competitive advantage in the global market. So ACCI thrives due to the strength of our member network and strategic partnerships. Together, we create a dynamic environment conducive to robust export and business activities. We genuinely appreciate your presence here today as we embark on this collaborative journey. In the modern business landscape, timely and accurate information is paramount, and ACCI is dedicated to providing you with comprehensive, tailor made information that aligns with your specific business requirements. Whether you have urgent inquiries or seek access to reliable resources, rest assured that ACCI is fully committed to bolstering and fortifying your business endeavors. I shall now commence with our presentation, which my team has prepared. We will delve into the foundational aspects that make international trade successful. And I am here to help you gain clarity and confidence in navigating the multifaceted world of international finance. So, whether you are a seasoned professional or just beginning to explore international trade, I believe there's always something new to learn and apply your advantage. So, when it comes to international trade, one of the foremost considerations revolves around how will you receive payment for your exported goods. So while insisting on upfront cash payment may eliminate the risk for non-payment, it can also limit your pool of potential customers and create cash flow challenges for buyers. So as we all know, in the realm of international trade, export payment terms play a pivotal role as they dictate the mechanism of settling payments between exporters and importers. So these terms are subjected to negotiations and agreements between the involved parties. So in the world of international business, there's always a certain level of uncertainty when it comes to getting paid for the goods or services you have provided. So this uncertainty can be even greater in export situations because of the physical distance between the buyer and the seller, and as well as the difference in the legal systems of two countries involved. So to make things smoother and safer, various payment options are available to both importers and exporters. These payment methods allow them to come to mutual agreements on how and when payments will be made. Some methods are more beneficial for the buyer, while others are better for the seller. So the choice of payment methods depend on the trading history and relationship between the two parties. So there are 5 types of payment terms and conditions in export, and these methods include such as cash in advance, letter of credits, documentary collection or draft leasing, open account and consignment. Moving forward, I will take the time to explain each term individually. I kindly request that you stay with us for the entire session and pay close attention. So starting with open account. In international trade, open account payment is when a buyer gets the goods from a seller and pays for them later, or usually after a set of period like 30, 60, or 90 days. So there's a time gap between getting the order and making the payment, during which the seller has to do things like make the product and ship it. So this way of doing things can be tough on the seller's finances because they have to wait for their money. But sometimes sellers choose this method when the buyer is a big and reliable customer who will buy a lot in the future. So they might also use it if they trust the buyer a lot, or if the amount of money involved isn't very big. So for example, if we say if a toy manufacturer in China sells toy to a big toy store in the United States, US, so they might agree to an open account payment because they know the store will keep buying lots of toys in the future. But if the toy store is a small local shop, the manufacturer might ask for payment upfront or use a different payment method. So here, ACCI offers guidance on negotiating open account payment terms with international buyers. We provide resources to help you access the credit worthiness of your customers and make informed decisions about using open account arrangements, balancing the need for trust with financial security. Okay, so next we have documentary collection. So this is a way of getting paid in international trade, and it involves banks. There are two banks involved, one for the seller, that is exporter, and one for the buyer, that is importer. So here how it works. The exporter ships the goods and gives some important documents and instructions to their bank. The exporter's bank sends these documents and instructions to the buyer's bank. And the buyer's bank tells the buyer about this and asks for payment. Okay, like in some simple terms, if you see, there are 2 types of documentary collection. One is cash against documents and the other is document against acceptance. So what is cash against document? If it's cash against document, that is CAD, the buyer pays right away before getting the documents. For example, imagine a company in Japan buying electronics from a company in South Korea. The Japanese company pays right away as soon as their banks get the document from the Korean company's bank. Here, if you see in cash against document, there's a clear presentation on my chart where it shows that when the exporter ships its goods to the importer, he simultaneously sends its document to the exporter's bank. And then the exporter's bank sends that document to the importer's bank. Importer's bank submit that document to the importer. Okay, and then simultaneously the importer make the payment to its respective bank, that is importer's bank. and then importer's bank reimburses this payment to the exporter's bank, and then accordingly the exporter's bank transfer the amount to the exporter's account. Next we have is document against acceptance, that is DA. If it's document against acceptance, the buyer agrees to pay after a specific time. So let's say a clothing store in Italy buys fabric from a factory in India. The factory in India sends the fabric and documents to the Italian store. The store agrees to pay in 30 days. So they get the documents, and after 30 days, they pay the Indian factory. See, here you can see my clear representation of how document against acceptance, that is DA, how it works. So first, the exporter and the importer has a contract binding. Okay, and then the exporter shifts its goods to the importer and sends its draft documents simultaneously to the exporter's bank, that is to its AD bank. And then the exporter's bank sends the documents to the importer's bank, and the importer gives its trade acceptance to the importer's bank, and then simultaneously the importer bank sends its documents, the shipping documents, to the importer. And when the documents are given to the importer, simultaneously the payment is made by the importer to the importer's bank. And then the importer's bank reimburses the payments to the exporter's bank, that is document against acceptance. The payment is made to the exporter's bank, and then accordingly the exporter's bank transfer the payment to the exporter's account. So this is how document against acceptance work. So in simple terms, documentary collection is like a way to make sure everything is okay before money is given in international trade. Sometimes you pay right away, that is cash against document, and other times you promise to pay later, that is document against acceptance. ACCI experts can help you understand the nuances of documentary collections. We provide insights into the documentation process, ensuring you comply with the required procedures and minimize risk associated with delayed payments. So proceeding next to our next international payment method, that is cash in advance. So let's simplify cash in advance for international trade and add some examples. This is the safest way for an exporter to get paid when selling things to someone in another country. Here's how it works. The exporter only sends the goods to the buyers after they have received all the money upfront, like in advance. The payment can be either the full amount or just a part of it, depending on what they agreed on. Okay, so now why is it safe? Why we say that cash in advance is safe? Well, because the buyer has to pay everything before they get the stuff they are buying. So if the buyer doesn't pay, they don't get the goods. It's like buying something from a vending machine. You put in your money and then you get what you paid for. But here's the catch. Many buyers don't like this because it means they have to take on most of the risk. They have to trust that the goods will be sent after they pay. So a lot of importers don't want to use this payment method. Like for example, think about a company in Germany that wants to buy high-end watches from Switzerland. The Swiss watch company says, we'll send you the watches, but you have to pay us all the money first. So if the German company agrees and sends the full payment, they get the watches. But if you don't pay, they won't get any watches. So it's super safe for the Swiss company, but not so great for the German one because they have to pay upfront. So we will proceed next with our next payment method of international payment, that is consignment. So let's simplify the concept of consignment in international trade, and I will also provide you some examples. So think of consignment as a way to sell your products in another country with a little extra safety. So here's how it works. Like according to the chart, if you see, you, the seller, send your goods to someone in another country. Let's call them the foreign distributor. The foreign distributor sells your good to people in their country, and you get paid after the goods sold, not before. Now, the trick here is to find a foreign distributor you can trust. They need to be reliable because they are the ones selling your stuff, and you want to make sure they'll pay you for it. So imagine you have a business in France and that makes delicious chocolates. So you find a trusted distributor in the United States. You send your chocolates to them and they sell them in their American candy store. Once they sell the chocolates, they send you the money. This way, you don't have to worry about getting paid before sending your chocolates. But you do need to trust your American distributor to sell them and pay you afterward. Also, it's smart to have insurances in cases something goes wrong, like the chocolates getting damaged during transit or the distributor not paying you. So you're like, I'll send you my chocolates to the US, but let's make sure they are protected and that I get my money. So that's the basic idea of consignment in international trade. So now we have the last payment methods, that is letter of credit. This is the safest and common international trade payment mechanism. The buyer's bank gives a written commitment to the seller called a letter of credit. Like think of a letter of credit like a formal promise in international trade. So according to my presentation, here how it works. The buyer's bank, like the importer's bank, writes a special letter to the seller, the exporter. This letter says, we promise to pay you, the exporter, if you do everything according to our agreement. To get paid, the exporter has to provide certain documents like shipping papers and invoices that prove they did what they agreed to do. And that way, the buyer's bank may use other banks in the middle to help with the process and make sure the payment gets to the exporter. So it's like having a set of rules. The buyer's bank says, if you, the exporter, follow these rules and give us the right documents, we'll make sure you get paid. So this way, everyone feels safe because there are clear steps to follow and nobody has to worry about not getting their money or their goods. It's like having a referee in a game to make sure everything is fair. So now we have understanding letter of credit. Now you know what is letter of credit, but how does it work and what are the aspects of letter of credit? It is more essential for you to know in more depth. Imagine a letter of credit like a special promise in international business. This chart breaks down the main points clearly, making it easier to understand the concept of a letter of credit. And here are the key points like separate contract. LC is like a separate agreement, not directly tied to the main sales deal. Banks don't worry about the quality of the stuff being sold or if everyone does their part in the sales deal. Banks promise. The bank's job is to pay the seller, but they'll only do it if the seller follows all the rules in the LC. And banks focus on the documents, not the actual goods being traded. Flexibility. LCs can be used for one-time deals or for a series of transactions over time. They are like flexible payment tools. And there are types of LCs. One is like irrevocable. This means the LC can't change unless everyone agrees. It's like a locked promise. Okay. And the second is revocable. This type allows one party to change the LC without the other party's agreement. It's not usually a good idea because it can create risk for the seller. Now, parties to a letter of credit. So let's simplify and clarify the roles of the parties involved in a letter of credit. First is applicant. This is the person or a company that wants to buy something from another country, like the foreign buyer. They are like the requester. Okay. Then we have the beneficiary. This is the person or company that's selling something to the applicant, the seller. They are like the receiver. Okay. And then we have the issuing bank. This is the applicant's bank. Applicant means the foreign buyer. This is like the applicant's bank, and it's the fund that starts the LC process. They are like the starter. Okay, then we have the nominating bank. This is the beneficiary's bank. They help in making sure the payment happens. They're like the supporters. Okay, then we have the advising bank. This is also the beneficiary bank, and they tell the beneficiary that the LC has been opened. They are like the messenger. Okay, confirming bank if needed. This is the beneficiary's bank that adds the extra assurance. If the applicant's bank can't pay, they step in. They are like the backup. And then we have the exporter's bank. So this is the bank of the seller, like the beneficiary. And usually the exporter asks their bank to do multiple roles like advising bank and confirming bank is if necessary. They're like the trusted helper. So in a letter of credit, you have the requester, applicant, the receiver, that means the beneficiary, their respective banks, and sometimes extra support, that is confirming bank. It's like a team effort to make sure everything goes smoothly in international business deals. For the most secure international transactions, ACCI provides comprehensive support for utilizing letter of credits, and we can help you navigate the process for initiating an LC to complying with documentation requirements. And our network includes experts who specialize in LCs, and we can guide you through each step. So, if you are interested in learning more about what a letter of credit is and getting more expert tips for exporters or understanding how to obtain one and the entire process involved, feel free to contact us at ACCI. If you are already a member of ACCI, you can also schedule an appointment with us by sending an email to info@acci.org.in, and we are here to help you and provide you with the information you need. If you are an exporter considering the use of a letter of credit and you are seeking assistance with the entire process, you can get in touch with our diamond sponsor company as well, that is Excellency Legalization Services Private Limited. And you can reach them at excellencyservices@rediffmail.com. They specialize in helping exporters like you to navigate the letter of credit process. So now we have the role of the Reserve Bank of India. So the role of the Reserve Bank of India in export payment terms can be explained like the RBI serves as the regulatory authority and a facilitator in the financial aspects of international trade, particularly concerning export. So it functions in accounting terms, which includes like guidance and regulations. The RBI establishes accounting guidelines and regulations that exporters and banks must adhere to when conducting international trade. These guidelines ensure transparency and accuracy in financial reporting. Then next we have export financing. So RBI oversees and regulates the various methods of export financing, including the accounting treatment of export credits, loans, and advances. It ensures that these financial transactions are recorded accurately in the books of both exporters and bank. Foreign exchange management. So the RBI monitors the foreign exchange market to ensure that the accounting of foreign currency transactions is done correctly. It oversees the conversion rates and accounting treatment for foreign currency receipts and payments related to the exports. Then we have reserve management. RBI manages the India's foreign exchange reserves, and the accounting of these reserves is critical to ensure financial stability. Proper accounting practices are employed to track the inflow and outflow of foreign currency reserves related to export transactions. Then we have restrictions and controls. In certain situations, the RBI may impose accounting controls or restrictions on export financing to manage the availability of foreign exchange. This includes ensuring that the accounting for restricted transactions comply with the RBI guidelines. In essence, the RBI's role in accounting terms is to establish, monitor, and regulate financial practices related to exports, ensuring that the transactions are accurately recorded, reported, and in compliance with accounting standards and regulations. Okay, so here are the following points of how ACCI can provide its assistance to help you navigate the complexities in international trade. So, like additionally, ACCI can provide you with the resources and expert advice on dealing with the Reserve Bank of India (RBI) and its regulatory role in export financing and foreign exchange management. So, we ensure that your accounting practices align with RBI guidelines, fostering transparency and compliance. Whether you are a seasoned exporter or new to international trade, ACCI is your reliable resource for knowledge, assistance, and networking. We work diligently to empower your business and enhance your understanding of international payment methods, ensuring your global trade endeavors are prosperous and secure. So reach out to ACCI to access our expertise and support in optimizing your international transactions. ACCI's guidance empowers the businesses to navigate the method of international payment terms in LC and make informed decisions that positively impact their import and export operations. So, in a nutshell, ACCI is your trusted ally in simplifying the intricacies of your everyday business operations. With a comprehensive range of services, a wealth of expertise, and an expansive network, we empower you to master these concepts with confidence and make astute choices that propel your import and export endeavors towards resounding success. So, in conclusion, this session has been a valuable journey into the world of international payment methods and letter of credits. We have explored the diverse array of options available to businesses engaged in cross border trade, from open accounts to consignment, cash in advance, and a dependable letter of credit. At AECCI, we are not just about disseminating information, we are here to support you in the practical ways. Our organization is dedicated to empowering Asian exporters with the knowledge, resources, and the connection needed to excel in global markets. And we believe that informed decision making is the key to successful international transactions. Whether you are a seasoned professional or new to the world of international trade, our commitment to providing tailored support, fostering networking opportunities, and offering expert guidance stands unwavering. So, as you embark on your international business ventures, remember that ACCI is here as your reliable partner, ready to assist you every step of the way. And feel free to reach out to us for more information, personalized assistance, or any queries you may have. So, thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to continuing this journey of exploration and growth with you. Together, let's build a prosperous future in the realm of international trade. So, for any queries or to connect with our team, please feel free to reach out to us using the contact details provided below in the descriptions, or visit our website at www.aecci.org.in for further insights into the services, events, and member benefits. Our dedicated team is at your disposal, ready to provide any additional assistance you may require. So, we sincerely appreciate your active participation in this live session and eagerly look forward for addressing your questions. Thank you.